Welcome to the 2nd episode of Whiteboard. Today, instead of a math problem, we're going to be working on designing a playground because I've been noticing that I, in fact, do not have the blueprint layout of a playground of my own, and that is a major problem. We're going to solve that today by designing a playground specifically for elementary schools and stuff like that. Let's jump right into it. Alright, we're going to start off with the basic necessities: slides, monkey gym, swing, stuff like that. Let's put the slide right in the middle. We can make it like one of those twisty slides where it twists like that. Right, this is a slide. It's not trying to hypnotize you. I'm just really bad at making blueprints. There we go. Now all of this is going to be a top-down view, so it's going to look horrific because it's a blueprint. That's what blueprints look like. Only an architect can decode what a blueprint looks like, and I certainly am not an architect. So you've got your slide here in the middle, maybe like one of those tent things over it, right? Pretend that this is one of those tent things that's, protect the kids. We got to get up onto the ladder, so let's put a ladder here. Let's put a monkey gym over here. I think that's a terrific idea. And we can have an actual monkey exhibit right next to it. We'll put the monkey exhibit right here. We'll label it monkeys, just so that the monkeys can look at this and they can learn how to use those monkey things. They can also watch the kids do a bunch of other stuff, so then they can learn, they can absorb the knowledge. So then they will know how to take over the planet eventually, before the robots get to us. There we go, monkey exhibit. Let's put the swings to the west, so that the sun can line up with it really well. You can take really cool photos. Alright, those are some pretty good looking swings. Now we can start to get to work on the seesaws. Let's put the seesaws right here. Maybe they can be like horses and starfish seesaws. Like a 5-way seesaw. That would actually be pretty cool. I would pay to use one of those. Actually, that's a great idea. Let's put a paid gate in the front of the playground. So we'll put the gate here. Gate. And just to make sure that they don't just skip the gate, let's put barbed wire along the entire perimeter of the playground, just so that nobody can get in and nobody can get out without permission. And I don't know, we can price it about like $25,000 per hour per kid. Like 500% boost when it's an adult, because adults aren't supposed to be here, so we'll discourage them from being here, just so that there can be total anarchy. But to avoid total anarchy, because we don't want total anarchy, we just want total anarchy, we gotta build a government hall over here. Right, this one's less of a top-down view and more of just the building, because I don't know what the top of a government building looks like, but I do know what the front of the Lincoln Memorial looks like, and that looks close enough to a government building, because I guess it kind of is a government building, maybe. I don't know, you'll have to fact check me on that. And what is a government without a prison system? We gotta have a prison right about over here. We can extend the barbed wire. Maybe put another gate to bring the prisoners in. Alright, maybe we'll just have some beds over here, maybe sleeping bags or something. And then we've gotta have, the chair, maybe a couple, in case we got a lot of prisoners to go through that day. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink, wink. We'll put a gym over here, because they always have those. Now for those older kids, just keep their attention, because eventually they're going to get bored of the slide, the swings, the monkeys, same old. We gotta have a video game center for them. Let's put it down here. Like I said, it'll just be like a couch and a TV here. Ignore how the couch is a top-down view and the TV is not. Also, I don't know if you can hear that, the really loud sound coming from over there. That's just the computer getting really, really, really hot. Oh, it's quieting down now. Oh, never mind. I don't know, computers are weird. Which is why we have to have a computer store in the playground, right next to the video game exhibit, just so that when they get tired of those games, they'll go to the store, spend like $60 on new games. Then we can use that money to expand the playground even more. Alright, so we've got our Best Buy with all our computers and electronics and stuff. And you know what else kids are really into? Playing war. Let's make it a more realistic experience for them by putting a real battleground over here with active landmines. Maybe some trenches. Maybe a bomb shelter over here. Let's put a weapons store right here. And of course, they're not going to be real guns. We don't want the real government getting on our back about this. We're just going to have, like, I don't know, Nerf darts with flint tips or something. I don't know. Because, I mean, what's life without a little pain? Alright, so we've got all the basics. We've got fun, and a government building with a prison. I think we should start to focus more on basic human necessities, just in case these kids want to stay in here for like weeks at a time or something, because, you know, who would want to leave this place, especially with the $6,000 exit fee? Let's see, we need food, we need water, we need shelter. Actually, no, we don't really need shelter. They can just sleep under the tent. Of course, the buildings will be locked at night, just so that nobody can get in and steal anything or anything. So the tent's the only viable option for them to sleep on. Alright, let's start off with food. We're gonna have a grocery store, right? Over here, next to the Best Buy. So that the gaming kids can also come over and get a snack really quickly. As you might notice, the food store is much smaller than the Best Buy. This is because, contrary to popular belief, apples are smaller than computers. I know, right? I just blew your mind. Don't go to school, kids. Just listen to me for like 10 minutes and you'll learn everything you need to know. I promise you, you won't go insane. I mean, just look at your mental state after watching one of my whiteboard videos. I mean, you should be okay. I know I'm okay, and I gotta spend 24/7 with myself. Look how I turned out. Alright, and then we also gotta have water. Now, just so that these kids can get even more exercise, let's put like a well here next to the monkeys, so that, you know, the kids can get some water, and if they're feeling like it, they can give some to the monkeys that day. Alright, so we've got our basic necessities. We've got food, we've got water, we've got shelter. What else do we need? I'll look around my room for some inspiration. A graveyard. Look over there. Look at the door. See that skeleton? That reminded me. We need a graveyard because some of these kids are going to stay in here for the rest of their lives. So let's put a graveyard next to the war zone. Put a few graves there. Maybe a morgue here, just to prepare the bodies. Good luck reading that. Good luck reading any of this. What else do we need? That's right, a factory. We gotta keep these kids working, keep them busy. Have them contribute to society while they're having fun at the same time. We'll put a massive factory right here. Maybe like an oil field over here, since, you know, that's in so much stock these days. Alright, I don't really know what these things look like. I just know that this is what the head looks like. So, I'm just gonna draw a box here. I know this is not what they look like at all, but I'm the one with the marker, so I'm the one redesigning the planet. Alright, so we've got, I guess, an oil factory. Oil processing plant, I should say. Alright, and we'll put some double doors in the front, you know, just so that lots of kids can come in. I guess we'll put like a little delivery zone in the back to get all of the oil flowing out and the money flowing in. Just kidding, there will be no money flowing in. What, you thought we were going to pay these kids? No, we're just going to give them candy. Worked before. Alright, I guess I'll draw a truck here. Alright, that's a truck. As you may have noticed, we still have a lot of empty space here, here, a little bit up here. We gotta fill it with something. I know, just for little pranks. We'll put some pitfalls over here. Pitfall, pitfall, pitfall. Just for fun. Just to, you know, see those kids drop down. We'll make it just deep enough so that they don't get hurt, but it'll still be deep enough to where they can't exactly get out by themselves. They gotta rely on the other kids, therefore building teamwork, relationships, so that these kids can grow to be healthy adults. Now you may be wondering, Nathan, these kids are going to be traumatized beyond belief spending 2 minutes in this area, which is why we need a therapist. Put a therapist over here by the war zone. Therapist. We have a therapist here. I guess we need a barber as well, just so that these kids' hair don't grow so long that they need to, I don't know, burn it off or something. I don't know what you do with long hair when you don't have a barber. And so that we can have these kids contributing to society even more, like they are in the oil plant, we'll have them we'll give them research grants so that they can work on science stuff like rocket ships, nuclear missiles. We'll put a thing here, a silo, so that they can build rockets for undisclosed private businesses. I don't really know what an above ground silo looks like, so I just drew some guy wires holding it up. In case you didn't know, guy wires, I learned, are the things that hold up other things like a telephone pole. Speaking of telephone poles, we need a way to communicate people and stuff in and out, which is why we will have a very sophisticated mail process. We will have a catapult over here on this side of barbed wire. Now I do know what a catapult looks like, something like this. And we'll put all the mail in here and we'll launch it over the wall into the mail pit where all the kids will gather around and get their mail from their loved ones outside the wall. But see, we'll make this a really fun process. We'll make it so that when they flutter down into the pit, it's like those kids are in those Chuck E. Cheese hurricane machines where they're grabbing at the paper trying to get as many tickets as they can. This time they'll be grabbing mail. The only bad side about this is if they miss, if they don't catch, it's just gonna flutter down into the pit. They're gonna have to wait another 3 months until they hear from their parents again. But that's not that long. They can live. They've got Best Buy, they've got a morgue, they've got monkey exhibit. They've got plenty of stuff to keep them busy. And just to make these kids seem like they can go outside the walls, but they can't really, then here's the plan. We'll put a helicopter pad here. There will be a helicopter in it. Now the thing is, all the kids are gonna line up and want to be the one, well, I guess not line up. There wouldn't really be a line. They would just be crowded around the helicopter pad, begging for a chance to get in the helicopter and see the outside world. But this is the part where it gets interesting. We're not actually going to let them see the outside world. We're going to bring in specific kids who are not supposed to stay in here. We're just going to keep them in here for a few days or something, just to assimilate. And then we'll tell them to go over to the helicopter pad. And they'll get in with the group of kids at the helicopter pad. And then when the helicopter pilot chooses somebody at random, they will randomly pick that kid that they just brought in a couple days ago. And they'll take them, fly them around outside the bounds, and then come back, drop them off or something. Or better yet, they don't even drop them off in here. They leave them outside. They just never come back. Of course, we're not gonna murder them in the middle of a forest or something. We're just gonna drop them back home. Perfectly fine. But we're gonna cycle through these kids, maybe 20, 30 kids or something, just so that these kids' short attention spans don't remember the first cycle of kids that came through. This is a good idea because what is happening here is we're giving them the illusion of freedom. We're telling them, yes, you can see the outside world, you can go out, but it's just chance. You're just unlucky. You just can't go outside that time. But every time you go to that helicopter pad, you might be chosen. That should keep them in hand, not let it go to total anarchy. I guess we can stick a baseball field over here. It'll be pretty small, but they're small too. They can make do. Pitcher's mound, dugouts. Yep, that's right, we're rich. We can put dugouts in. Hey, those are actually some pretty good 3D boxes compared to everything else that I've drawn so far. Now we gotta keep this space open over here just so that all these kids, when they're flooding into the oil plant, they'll, there's enough space for all of them to crowd out here. Now, mind you, none of this is to scale. in actuality, if this was to scale, these kids would be like 20 feet tall. Last I checked, kids are not 20 feet tall. Except this kid. This kid was 20 feet tall. But to think, what should we put here? What would attract the most customers and give us the most revenue in the area between a Best Buy, a helicopter pad, some swings, and a mail pit? The answer is a giant statue of me, just so that they can be reminded that this utopia has been created by me, and that they may be like, thank you, man. Thank you for making my life 20 times better. Alright, I think that does it for today's episode of Whiteboard. I really like this playground. I would make it if I had billions of dollars to spend however I would like. But we'll get there eventually. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my second episode of Whiteboard, where I designed a playground. As you can see, incredible playground. I love it. I would play in it every day. I will see you guys in the next one, where we will be talking about something. I'm not entirely sure yet. I haven't decided. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.